So the third period with the Flyers 6-3 up, with of course their captain Gordon Latto in the penalty box, and now Glasgow playing from left to right in of course the lighter colour top kits. Fife in their familiar blue and gold livery. And here's a break on, and it's Brown. And again, brave keeping by Callaghan. Back here to Kirk. Kirk playing it out. Oh, that wasn't a bad effort from Dougie Stevenson. Crashing shot from back on the blue line. And again, it's big Danny Brown policing him. It was Martin Shields who seems to be picking him up now. Stevenson from one end to the other. Cross to Shields. Shields neat into play. And there's nobody there. Five points. This is Ron Plum. Plum looking for Stojanovic. And he will not be too happy with that effort, Paul, because it wasn't a particularly strong shot. It was straight at the keeper.
That's right, but he did come down to cut down the angle, and that's what goaltending is all about, the angles. Callaghan is playing a heck of a game, Dave. He's come up with 2 key saves in the first minute of this third period. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, he's keeping the Dynamos in the game.
But the Glasgow side, who have played bravely, considering they're in against perhaps the top side in the league, as Stojanovic goes all the way through and just can't get the finishing touch. Took out, what, 3 Glasgow defensemen there. So that's a couple of chances that Danny Stojanovic, rather Dave Stojanovic, of course, looking for his 100th goal. He's on what now, 98?
Offside.
And this is Pennycook, who has been the most resourceful attacker perhaps in the second line. Across there to Stuart Drummond, and here is Pennycook, and that surely is a hooking call against John Riley.
Well, there's the guilty party, number 10, John Riley. He'll be off for a holding penalty. So once again, it'll be a power play effort for the Fife Flyers, and they're going to keep that line of Cottrell, Latto, and Pennycook on there, Dave.
Number 10 for Dynamos, John Riley, on a 2-minute penalty for holding.
Drummond, no power in the shot, pushed anyway up ice by Stevenson. Drummond playing it all the way around here to Pennycook. Played a long way up ice there by Hall. Of course, no icing while a side is defeated with a man in the penalty box. And Glasgow will want to swallow this. But here's Hall again, just unable to get any sting at all into the shots. Pennycook again, fine dinking player, Pennycook. Right in front he has Gordon Latto, still Pennycook. Here's the point man, and Pennycook takes it on himself. Well, Pennycook picked that one off the stick of Brian Peets, went on his own way, he said, "I'm sorry, mate, I thought I could score," and goes on and does just that.
Well, Jimmy Pennycook makes it 7-3. He did all the work, skated round behind the net, flipped it outside, got a lucky bounce, picked it up again in the slot, and I have a feeling that Callaghan was screened here. Let's see if the defenseman gets in his way. Well, he might be partially screened because he doesn't even move on this shot.
And intercepted by Neil Abel. In turn, that's intercepted by Bessel, looking for Kirk. Good piece of back checking again by Abel. And here's Stojanovic swooping behind, trying to bring Brown into the play, but the move well read by Hester. Shields moving up over the red line. Still going over the blue line, stops, turns, looks back, who's available? Kirk is, so too is Bestel. Kirk does it on his own.
Well, that power play goal makes it 7-4, and the Dynamos are back in the game. Kirk picked up this loose pass and just fired it between the goaltender's legs. You can see he didn't really, well, he went down. I think he should have stayed up on that one, Dave. He would have had a better chance. But that makes it 7-4.
So a little over 13 minutes remaining in this last period. Still 7-4 the score. Oh. Bruising collision down there on the boards. This is a game of physical contact. They really are tough fellas. Dumped in, brought down well by Hall to Stevenson. Stevenson looking all the way across for Peter Selbert. Pennycook. He's covered a lot of ice, Jimmy Pennycook, tonight. Still looks pretty fresh. Pete. Across to Drummond. What can he do? Dumps in. Puck is stopped cleanly enough by John Riley. Only out as far as Pennycook again. Stevenson really forechecked ferociously now. Vestal. Stevenson back in the fray. Vestal somehow won that puck, had no right to really. Now here's Pennycook again, playing it back. There's Cottrell. Intricate piece of byplay there. Pennycook right in front. Oh! It was Gordon Good, so it was made easy for him. Pennycook the assist, and really should take most of the credit for that, the 8th Flyer goal.
Well, that was a nice effort by Pennycook. They get number 8. He does all the work in the corner. Goodsir is waiting out front. All he has to do is tip it into the side of the net. Callaghan cleanly beaten.
Plum feeding Gary McEwen, and the Fife line bringing in a couple of their lesser-known members, 2 of the younger players. This is Plum. Hester. And now Stojanovic, dangerous in these kind of situations. Stojanovic flashed the shot. Callaghan pouches. Stojanovic looking for that 100th goal. Needs 2 more, Paul.
Dave, I'm surprised that Glasgow haven't put a man on him. He's really wide open, right in the slot. You saw how much time he had there to shoot. Guy should be bumping into him, you know. Every time he turns around, he should have a stick in his face. Not literally, but there should be someone in there to mark him. He shouldn't get the space that he has.
Stojanovic doing well back here to Pete at point. Brian and Colin Wilson going down together. Played out to Pete. Oh, that was a lucky one. Right in front there has to be Andrew Linton. Well, that was a trifle fortuitous. Linton can't believe his good fortune.
Well, that was a cheeky little pass from Brown. You can see how confident they're becoming as the game goes on, Dave.
So 9-4 the score, and the class and experience perhaps of the Flyers now really beginning to tell. They are, we remind you, way up in the lead of the Premier section, having one of their best seasons, and due in no small way to this fella, Dave Stojanovic. Stojanovic going a long way here. A little bit overconfident. Stojanovic still picking up the puck on the blue line. Pass 1, 2, 3. Still has the puck. No, he hasn't. Hall eventually comes away. Well, that's got to be a hooking call. Andrew Linton, I think it was, who is the offender.
Well, there's definitely a penalty against the Flyers. Referee Riley's going over their timekeeper's box. So they'll be short-handed for the next couple of minutes.
And it's Linton. How swiftly the fortunes change in this game. A moment ago he was celebrating a goal. Now he's got 2 minutes to think about all its glory. 9-4, midway through this final period. And yeah, Vestal again made himself available. Back to the point man. Flying shot. And Bill Kerr was available to pick up the loose puck. And Glasgow are still in there with the shout.
Well, this is a power play goal. You can see the Dynamos are all around the net. They just grazed the goalpost there. They're putting on the pressure here. The puck comes back to the blue line. Kirk is roving in front. He picks up the loose puck and gets his hat trick.
Stojanovic. Wilson. All on his own. Wilson may try one. Does so. It's on target, but seen all the way by Andrew Donald. This is Brown making ice. Brown still going despite the challenge there from Smith. Drummond flicking it back in only as far as Hall. Hall moving forward. Right here, an opportunity. There's Martin Shields with the shots, and it wasn't a bad one. Stojanovic is available over here, yes. Brings him in now. Stojanovic moving up over the red line. Faced by Hall. Still Stojanovic. Tried a cheeky shot there. It might have been best to blast it.
Once again, Dave Callaghan comes up trumps, comes out, cuts down the angle. Good move by Stojanovic, though, didn't he? Split the defense, went right through. He's got more moves than a snake.
Pennycook in for the drop, but it can only play it as far as Hall, who hacks that one away up ice. Pennycook inside to Pete. Down in is Pennycook, getting into overdrive. Eventually it was John Riley with the forecheck. Neil Abel is going a long way, going all the way.
Dynamos are now back to full strength.
And Glasgow have smothered that. They've killed off that penalty here. That's to their credit. Still Pennycook. Pennycook. That was a perfectly timed piece of forechecking from Dougie Stevenson. And the Glasgow defence rather getting in each other's way. Abel avoids the forecheck by Hall, but not from Kirk. Wilson trying it out here to Riley. Riley looking across, but can only find Brian Pete, and Pete is making ground very quickly. Cottrell. And here is Stojanovic. Gets the chances, 3-on-2 here. Brown! Crack! It hits the boards. Played out now, Martin Shields all the way across here to Kirk. Kirk has Bessel available. And that really was a spectacular save from Donald, and it was an equally resourceful break by the Dynamos, Paul.
Yes, that was a lovely move from Kirk to Bessel, but Donald came up trumps. A lovely save, slid right across the open goal mouth and came up with a puck.
Plum looking around to see the available men. There's Brown, John Hester, with a lot of time to play it out to Big Jack Vestal. Linton playing it inside. Oh, Stojanovic. A lazy kind of shot. A man of his prodigious scoring feats. Now, Hester.
Dave, Brown and Rogers are mixing it up in the corner.
Oh, Stojanovic from way out.
Well, the Flyers go into double figures, and this one is really down to the goaltending. This is a goaltender's error. He takes his eye off the puck. He's concerned with Danny Brown and the mix-up between him and Alistair Roger. Now watch him. Brown will come in front of the net. You see Brown circles in front of the net, and the goalie takes a swipe at him, takes his eye off the puck. The shot comes from the far side from Stojanovic and goes right into the open net.
And now the chance is on for Pennycook. Pennycook smothered out. Goodser backing up. Abel with time to measure. A shot over the top. Seibelt only out here as far as Abel again, moving in menacingly, and that one's going to go into the crowd. The last bit of action here, and the chase here is on for Stevenson. Oh, he's overrun it. So action till the final hooter, with Glasgow still gamely plugging away, bless them. But it's the Fife Flyers who win with 5 goals from Dave Stojanovic. We'll be seeing them in the final, and we're sure to have an entertaining match then as well. So super stuff here at Dundee, but it's the Flyers whose class tells in the final analysis.
Well, there you are then, a marvellous contest there between two terrific teams. It really was always on the cards that Fife Flyers would go into double figures, which is exactly what they did. We do hope you've enjoyed our coverage from Dundee Ice Rink. We'll be back next Friday evening with more ice hockey. Till then, good night.